Welcome, everyone. Today, we're delighted to be joined by the phenomenal South African vocalist Thulile Zama. Thulile is part of the exciting One World, One Sound concert, a celebration of Indo-African music that brings together Indian classical traditions and contemporary African sounds in a powerful expression of unity, culture, and shared humanity. In today's conversation, we'll explore the inspiration behind this remarkable collaboration, the creative process of merging diverse musical traditions, and why music remains one of the world's most powerful languages. Tulile, it's an absolute pleasure to have you with us today. Welcome.
Thank you so much. How are you doing, Siddharth?
It's awesome. And as I was telling you off air, it's been a while.
It has. I'm happy to be back.
Yeah, likewise. Tulile, One World, One Sound is all about bringing cultures together through music. What does this theme mean to you personally as an artist?
Well, for me, it really is a true reflection of who we are as South Africans. So my history is that for the whole time I've been in my school career, I was in school with everyone. So I was actually exposed to classical Indian music as early as standard two. My music teacher was so instrumental in making me fall in love with the genre. So being able to merge my worlds and my sound with the amazing Caroline Govinder's sounds, it's just such an honor to be part of this great project.
Awesome. Uh, you have performed across a variety of musical styles throughout your career. How did you
Yeah.
approach blending your vocal artistry with the Indian classical elements featured in the production?
Yeah. For me, it was a more natural progression, like I said, because I'm a Durban born and bred person. And so for me, it was just a natural progression to blend this melting pot of music and cultures and just make the stage come alive and be colorful with this great lineup of musicians.
Music has the power to connect people beyond language and cultural differences. Have you experienced a moment in your career that truly demonstrated that power?
Definitely. As you know, that in the genre that I studied, jazz, sometimes there's not even lyrics and we use scatting. But also, I perform all over the world and I get to perform in my native language of isiZulu. And you can really feel the audience connecting, even if they don't understand a word of what you're saying. But because music is so powerful and doesn't really need you to understand the language, it does the same. So it's the same with this project of ours, One World, One Sound. Everyone in the audience gets a little something of what they love and are used to, but are also exposed to each other's genres. So it is definitely worth coming through, experiencing it live, because yes, we're going to connect with our audience one way or another.
Do you mind me asking which countries you've performed at so far?
I've performed in Africa, I've performed in Mozambique and in Swaziland. I've performed in Europe, in the Netherlands, and in Germany a couple of times in Germany.
Wow.
I've also had the pleasure of representing Durban in the States when we used to have a collaboration with New Orleans. So I went there with my all female jazz band, Heels of a Head.
Incredible. What has been the most exciting or unexpected aspect of collaborating on a cross-cultural project like One World, One Sound?
For me, I think, okay, tabla is one of my favorite instruments in the whole world. So
Okay.
sometimes when I write my original music, I can hear tabla playing. But to actually now have the experience of having the tabla perform on, for example, one of my songs is called Uxolo, which is really a prayer for our nation. To just stop the corruption for the people in power, especially, and for us to treat our country in a great way. We've got such an amazing, beautiful country, cross cultural, and we just need that harmony. So, Ukolo is my plea and my cry to say, can we just treat our country well and with respect? So, hearing the live version of Ukolo being played with the tabla, for me, it's just mind blowing and so, so special.
Amazing. As someone who continues to inspire audiences with your voice and authenticity, what message do you hope people will take away from this performance?
Well, I think as South Africans, especially, we know that, we we have such a beautiful blend of humans. I feel like people tend to be in their own little pockets and just be exposed to whatever they're used to. And we're scared to actually get to know each other. So, this music of one world, one sound, the whole concept invites people to blend, to communicate, to talk, to get to know each other, and to enjoy each other's, you know, experiences and sounds.
All right. After I get to okay, I'll get to my final question, and then I'll also get to the comment questions here. All right. Looking beyond this concert, what exciting projects, collaborations, or musical goals are on the horizon for you?
Well, one world, one sound. Yes, we have done it in Durban before, and we know that Durban is ready for more. But we're very excited that this year is going to be the year that we're taking it to other provinces as well. I believe you're going to have my collaborator and the person whose brainchild that this is, Carolyn Naidu, coming in a few weeks and is going to reveal a bit more of that. So I'm just giving you the teaser that Johannesburg, we might be coming your way, maybe in other places, but I'll let Carolyn drop the cat out of the bag. But I've also got different projects as myself, Thulile Zama. I'm a founding member and a leader of an all-female jazz band called Heels Overhead. So we've been doing a lot of corporates on the side and not really doing public gigs. But this year, we've said, okay, we're ready for the public to consume us. And we had our first gig at Jam in Umzansi on the 31st of May, which was brilliant and very well received. So we're going to be doing our music again this Sunday at Beanbag. We're going to be there with the great Dr. Madala Wunene, the legends Umkumbane jazz band, as well as the beautiful Lou Dlamini and Marius Botha. And if you missed that one, you can also catch us at Duka on the 5th of July with Heels Overhead, my all-female jazz band.
Amazing. All right, I'll get to this comment question here. This is from Resh Jitan. Hi, Thulile. Thank you for making beautiful music. In the near future, would music be a way of storytelling like back in the days of our forefathers? I sometimes feel the world is moving in reverse.
I can't agree with you more, Resh. So I feel like as artists, we are really so responsible for holding a mirror to what's happening in society and even calling out the social ills that are happening in society. So we are responsible as artists to continue the legacy of our forefathers of using our craft, using our music to highlight what's happening in the world and to challenge the things that are happening. So definitely, I feel like we should continue the legacy of, writing about what is happening as and when it's happening. One of my songs on my latest album, Sisingatiwe, by and then, one of my songs is called My Brother's Keeper. And it talks about the boy child, especially. I know there's a big debate now about how the boy child is being left behind, but what are we doing as a society? How are we raising our boy children? How are we making them, not expect the patriarchy that they were promised, but because there's so much progression, especially with women and how women are now, we've got so much more than our grandmothers had, even our mothers had. I know in the past you couldn't even buy a property as a single woman. You had to have your husband there signing with you. So we've got so many privileges that are making us progress so fast as women, and the boy child is just not keeping up and staying behind. So my songs, The Brother's Keeper, challenges that, but also, like I spoke about Sukolo, which is a prayer for our nations. But I've always believed, Guti, besides the lovey-dovey stuff, which is beautiful and nice to hear, we also need to write about the social ills as well.
Awesome. All I got to say, Thulile, is thank you so much for your time and best of luck for the rest of your ventures for this year and beyond.
Thank you so much. I hope you get to come through to one of the gigs, and we'll see you at One World, One Sound at the Center for Jazz and Popular Music, UKZN Howard College, on Tuesday, the 28th of July from 5:30. Tickets are already on web tickets.
Take care.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.